Hey everyone, how's it going? I am Seracon and I am back once again. Welcome to another Metroid Monday. Today is the third part of the Metroid Monday series that's going on right now on my channel, and we have Metroid 3, but more commonly known as Super Metroid. So, we're just going to go and start with this. Now, I'll say Metroid 3.
The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace.
I think it's actually pretty cool that they were able to put that in there. When I first played Super Metroid, I was like, is that really in this game? Like they were actually able to put like recorded sound in like this game here, and I know that they've done stuff like that before, like with what was it called? Like with I think it was like the in television or the ColecoVision, they were able to do something like that. Like small sound bites. I know that like Ghostbusters had a sound bite, and like other games had sort of like voice sound bites or emulated vocals and stuff like that. But the fact that they were actually able to have that sentence in there and sound so clear, that was pretty cool to me. Now, granted, I played Super Metroid pretty late. Like, I first played it probably in like maybe like 2014, something like that. I was in some friends and I, we went to a retro game store that had opened up around that time, and we just went and checked it out. And I saw Super Metroid. I was like, I never played Super Metroid, and so this will be a good time to actually try it out. So I bought it and then I played it, and I wasn't really, I didn't really care too much for it, just because of the fact that after playing Metroid Zero Mission and then also playing Fusion, I felt those controls were much more refined than on Super Metroid, which you've heard me mention before, like in Zero, and like in I think the last couple of videos I might have mentioned that. But I definitely enjoyed those controls more than I enjoyed this game's controls. I mean, not that this game is bad per se, but just that overall I preferred those controls to this one, so that's why it didn't feel as fluid, or it didn't feel as refined. Actually, I'm still trying to remember actually all the controls on here. Okay, so that's jump, that's run. Cool. And I like the atmosphere that sets up for this game, just because of the fact that you know, everyone's pretty much dead here and stuff, and you're just like trying to figure out why. It's like, hey. Now, if I can remember correctly, okay, there we go, that's down. Like, yeah, like, here's like two buttons for aiming up and down, whereas like having one. Now, I don't think I've ever actually been able to defeat Ridley here. Which, I mean, you don't have to defeat him, but it's something that's pretty cool if you're skilled enough to actually do. Like, I've been able to wear him down, but I just take so much hits, and not having missiles really, I guess, can impact how this build turns out. Like, he's probably gonna be able to hit me. Actually, I'm surprised. Darn. Like, okay, I'm probably actually doing better than I have been in most cases. Darn it. Darn it, darn it, darn it, darn it. Yeah, like, I failed. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Open up the door already then. Yeah, of course, it's not a Metroid game unless, you know, the place is gonna be blowing up around you. Like, this happens how many times in this game? Like, at least... happens at least, like, what? Twice? because you have it here, you have it happen. And I'm actually glad that the steam can't hurt you, because I was, when I first played, I was really scared. And this also, I think, is pretty cool, that Mode 7 swinging back and forth with the environment. That's pretty cool. It's very disorienting, which just adds to, I guess, the tension of like, oh my gosh, can I actually get out of here? But yeah, that's definitely a nice, pretty good opening to have in your game. And like, we wouldn't see anything like this until like, actually, Metroid Prime. Like, Metroid Prime sort of like took what was here for this opening and just like did the same thing with it, just like in a 3D environment, and added more stuff. Like, also added, serving as like a tutorial for how the game would play out. And then of course you crash into Talent 4 and the game begins. But it's by no means like a copy of Super Metroid, but definitely serves as inspiration. But yeah, like, as you can see, like, with the jumping mechanics in this game, it just doesn't feel as fluid. Like, you don't have the same weight as you do in Zero Mission. Also, you're actually going left instead of right, like you do in Criteria. Now, I don't have the morph ball yet. Now, one thing I do like about Fusion is that, it's definitely more open-ended than a lot of other 2D Metroid games. Like, you can actually go on a different route to complete this game than you can other games. Like, and I probably mentioned this before, but with, when I first played, I want to say Fusion, Super Metroid, like, I went a completely different way than, I guess, what would be considered the standard way, and that confused me because I was trying to, like, figure out where I was supposed to go, and I found I was taking a completely different path than what I guess the recommended path would be. So that's definitely pretty cool, and I like that it's not really non-linear. I mean, it makes things confusing, but, it's not bad. Here's, of course, where, the end of Metroid 1/Zero Mission, where, Mother Brain was eliminated. So we're really actually in Torian right now. And what's this gonna be? Brinstar? And it's Brinstar. And I love that jingle. I've always tried to see if I could actually, like, sort of kill that thing. Oops. Oh, whoa. Did I actually just... Oh, that was right. Yeah, like, I actually shot through all of those. Oh, I'm sorry. It's been a while since I've played, Super Metroid, so, like, my knowledge of, like, everything is just, like, gone. Oops. I also keep forgetting that I have, I'm not playing, like, AM2R, because on AM2R I have my, control settings are completely different, especially with the fact that instead of having to do double tap down, I have it set to, I have one button dedicated to, oh, I forgot, I need multiple missiles to open these doors. I have multiple buttons set to, I have one button dedicated just for using the morph ball feature. So that way it's like it's easier to just like get across. Or more, it's easier just like change in, change out, don't have to worry about double tapping. Now, one thing that happened when I first played Super Metroid, and this is something that actually, oh crap, I forgot about this. One thing that happened with playing this for the first time was the fact that I got so cocky that I didn't save, or I was like cocky slash I forgot to save the game. So I went to one room where you need to use the grappling hook to get across, but I didn't know about that I needed it. So what happened was, and this was before I got the grappling hook, so what I did was I tried to use I tried to just sort of like exploit my way across just by using certain jumps and like something like that. I can't remember exactly what I did, but I did it, and I got across the room, but I couldn't get back, and eventually I died to all the spikes in there, and I was so mad that I rage quit the game and didn't play it for months. Like, I went back and I beat Super Metroid, but it was a long time because I was so salty about that. I mean, it was my fault, but I was just so upset about that I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so horrible. All that progress is gone. Like, that's one thing that, like, is one of the worst feelings I think can happen in a game, is that you're playing and you make a lot of progress. Like, this happens in JRPGs I play sometimes. I don't save the game, or I don't get a chance to save, and okay, I need bombs there. And I eventually just like I just die, and I just feel so bad that I rage quit just because I'm halfway through a dungeon and then I just die, and I'm like, oh my gosh. It's the worst feeling you can ever have. Okay. Now I've mentioned this on my Twitter before, that I don't believe that Super Metroid should be remade just because of how good it stands by on its own. But I'll probably retract that statement just by saying that if they remade it, not as they did with like Metroid 2, but if they did something more like they made it like, as far as they made the gameplay and graphics more so akin to Zero Mission / AM2R, I think that would be a great way to do a remake, or rather a remaster. Just because of the fact that, I want to save this. Just because of the fact that, hey, you know, the game it still stands the test of time. I still think this is a game that you can come back and play. I think that the gameplay could be a bit more fine-tuned. Again, it just feels slower compared to darn it. It definitely feels way slower once you play the other games that I mentioned. Let's say. Unfortunately, I have missiles. Now, one thing that's pretty interesting is like. Now, one thing that I sort of like wondered with these. Oops, if I could actually. With like Chozo statues and the like, is that, you know, I wasn't certain if, like, hey, you know, these are, I'm sucking right now. There we go. Oh, I had it. But it's like, how does the Chozo technology not like recognize Samus's technology as being like one of their own? Because I mean, sure, it's like a safety defense protocol, but you know, I would think that it would be able to recognize like, hey, this is like our technology, this is like our sort of like people, so why are we attacking them, sort of, if you catch my drift. I mean, I might be overthinking it, or I might be missing out on something that's lore related. Like, I can understand with the Chozo ghosts, since those were tainted by the Phazon, but as far as like the typical technology, like these guardians and stuff, like, I don't completely understand how they're attacking Samus when she is using their technology, and they would have, you know, I think they would have been smart enough to like help recognize that, hey, these are like an ally, these are our allies, so why are we attacking them? Now, of course, you know, with the new sort of expanded potential lore we have here, when Samus returns, with where it seems like there was sort of like a Chozo civil war going on at the end, after the Metroid, after the Metroids were trapped on SR388. That could give us some new information that explains something like that. Now let me actually see where we are, because do I need to go back to Brinstar? Because again, I'm pretty sure we can't go over to the wreck ship area. But okay, I meant Brinstar as far as like the Brinstar area we went to. So I'm actually going to test something out right now. So I'm going to, yeah, it's only, I'm already 17 minutes in, so I'm gonna just like do a little bit more oh, I had no idea about that. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit of exploration, then I'm gonna call it quits for the day. But actually, I think for the question I'm going to have for this video is, okay, yeah, there, you can actually pause that part. My question for you all for this video is, do you think that there should be a Super Metroid remake? And if so, how would you want them to do it? Would you want them to do something that's sort of a 2.5D remake, like Samus Returns, or would you rather have them do something that's more sprite-based and traditional, like AM2R and Zero Mission? So let me know about that in the comment section below. Or do you even think that there shouldn't be one in the first place, and that making one is pretty much doing a disservice to the game as a whole? So yeah, so let me know about that in the comment section below. Oh yeah, that's right. Now, actually, one thing I do like about about Super Metroid, that I think is something that would be nice to have in the other ones, is an actual run feature. Now, I get that we have the speed booster and that we oops, I forgot, don't shoot. Okay, I'm sorry. We do have the speed booster. I know that just running by itself doesn't serve as much as a purpose as the speed booster does, especially considering the fact that you can still take damage when you're running, as opposed to the speed booster where you're almost invincible, but you're not. Let's see what's behind door number 1. Excuse me. Okay. So it looks like we're trapped here. Okay, that's nice. Alright, so there's a map room, and we'll just get, I'm not having a save room, and then we'll get there, and then that will be it. I apologize again if I don't seem like completely knowledgeable in this game as I did like the other ones. It's just that well, AM2R has been really recent, and Zero Mission, I just played that game so many times that I know that one inside and out, as opposed to Super Metroid. I've only played that like 2 times, 3 times really, because I also played it on the SNES Classic. So this game is a game that I'm not really too familiar with, as far as the game itself. Like I know the story and stuff like that, but just as far as like doing like a walkthrough, like it's like playing this game is like completely almost fresh to me in a way. But yeah, so that's actually gonna do it for today. So remember, my question for today is, do you think that Super Metroid should get a remake, and if so, how do you think they should do that? So until next time, everyone, I am iamxeracon signing off. I'll see you guys next week for the last video in the Metroid Monday series, and that's Metroid Fusion. Until next time, everyone, I am iamxeracon signing off. Have a good one.